Hello there, I'm Alicia Malone, and welcome back to Summer Romance on TCM. As you probably already know, I am a sucker for romance, and every Sunday at 12 p.m. for the next 3 months, I've handpicked a romantic film for us all to watch. Each one shows a different kind of love, and we're starting with love of the impossible kind. From 1942, directed by Irving Rapper, it's Now Voyager. This is unashamedly a women's picture aimed at capturing the female audience of its time, being filled with romance, fashion, big emotion, and Betty Davis as a woman finding her independence and eventually falling in love with herself. The story comes from the third book in a series by Olive Higgins Prouty, who also wrote Stella Dallas. Davis plays Charlotte Vale, a sheltered young woman living with her domineering mother, played by Gladys Cooper, in New England. After receiving psychiatric care from a doctor played by Claude Rains, Charlotte undergoes a transformation, and while on a cruise, she meets a handsome married man named Jerry, played by Paul Henreid. The title of the film and Prouty's original book came from a poem by Walt Whitman, which features the line, "Now Voyager, sail thou forth to seek and find." This was the first independent production from Hal Wallace, who had just signed a contract with Jack Warner to start a production company at Warner Brothers. Betty Davis heard about the project from Irving Rapper, who wasn't yet the director but was her friend, and she started pushing to be cast in the lead, arguing that as a woman from New England, she could understand this character intimately. Davis got pushed back about her looks from the studio, who thought she wasn't attractive enough, but Davis cleverly pointed out that a traditional Hollywood beauty would be all wrong for the role. Once Hal Wallace was on her side and Jack Warner agreed, Davis insisted that Irving Rapper should replace Michael Curtiz as the director. Let's watch from 1942, this is Now Voyager. Don't let's ask for the moon, we have the stars. Such a wonderful and bittersweet end, and that line was partly inspired by the Production Code Administration, who refused to approve the adaptation if the affair between Charlotte and Jerry was explicitly stated. So instead of the moon, the romance Charlotte had dreamed of, she is happy with the stars, their friendship, the love of Jerry's daughter, and her newfound independence. Another inspiration for this ending was said to be World War II, a time when women started to gain more independence. Paul Henreid was one of a few male actors who screen tested for the role of Jerry, but his first test did not go well. The studio had slicked his hair down and put him in a silk smoking jacket, just like George Brent. Betty Davis wasn't sold on him, but when Henreid told her that he hadn't liked his test, Davis pushed for him to be tested again, this time with a more natural look. And immediately after filming Now Voyager, both Henreid and Claude Rains went into production on a romance for the ages, Casablanca. Now, Summer Romance will continue next Sunday, but up next is another romantic tale starring Wendy Hiller as a woman who thinks she knows where she's going, but that changes when she meets an intriguing naval officer.
Next on TCM, I Know Where I'm Going. Then, Blythe Spirit. And later, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? TCM is a profile in courage today.